And every year for the last few years, we've been able to announce some great wins for the community through the federal appropriations process. I'll give you a quick history for those of you who are unfamiliar with it. But community project funding requests were formerly known as earmarks, but earmarks became kind of a bad word in Washington, D.C. for a while, and Congress at one point did away with earmarks. And earmarks essentially are just appropriations that are very specific to certain projects. And there were concerns with earmarks historically. There was a reason why Congress did away with them. But when Congress eliminated earmarks, essentially Congress eliminated their own ability to adequately address community needs in a very specific way. So several years ago, many of us, in fact it was in 2019, many of us came together and we asked leadership to reconsider earmarks, to put in guardrails that would protect the public, that would ensure transparency, that would guarantee essentially that none of scandals of the past could ever happen again, and we did just that. And the process is highly transparent and very competitive. But every member of Congress has the opportunity to apply for this pot of money, but every member of Congress has to jump through some hoops in order to make that happen. We have work that we have to do on our end, but the real work really happens here at the local level through the great community leaders that you see assembled behind me and who are standing here today. When we were in charge, and by we I mean House Democrats, when we were in charge of the community project funding requests, our view was every congressional district should have access to the same amount of money, regardless of who is in the majority or who is in the minority in Congress. Our view was every American deserves access to the same opportunity, regardless of whether their member of Congress is a Republican or a Democrat, regardless of whether their member of Congress is a member of the majority or a member of the minority. So we had a very egalitarian perspective and approach. However, when we lost the majority last year and House Democrats are now in the minority, our colleagues who are in the majority are in charge of the rules, and they changed the rules. And House Democrats now get a fraction of the funding and the appropriations, and they get the lion's share of the appropriations. So the result is that communities like ours, districts like ours, are shortchanged, unfortunately. And we had great projects, highly competitive. We have community leaders and community organizations and community assets that are led by great people who have tremendous vision and who are able to put together very competitive projects. And after we made the initial announcement, we were hoping that our Republican colleagues would allow us full access to the same amount that they appropriated for themselves, and unfortunately they did not. So the projects that we approved are only getting a fraction of the funding. It's been really heartbreaking to us who see the incredible community need, especially after we worked so hard to create equity and parity so that no district would receive less than any other district. But alas, this is where we are now. And while that's the bad news, the good news is we were able to secure over $15 million for the various community projects in El Paso. They are, thank you. They are really, really great projects, and I'm going to allow each community leader to speak about their own project and tell you about it. You will see that the folks who put together these proposals have the community's best interest in mind. They have a great vision for where they want to go and what they want to do. And I want to express my sincerest gratitude to everybody here and to every organization that participated. I am so incredibly proud of our community, the hard work of all of these leaders who I have the privilege of standing here with today. It was a pleasure and a privilege for my team to work alongside with them, and I can't wait to see what they do with this funding and the projects as they come to fruition. And before I introduce our first guest, I do have to say we are in the middle of the appropriations process right now, so this won't be a done deal until it gets to the president's desk and he signs it, but we are very confident that we will get there. So with that, I'd like to introduce our first speaker, Mayor Ivy Avalos.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for allowing us to come speak. And this is an absolutely special occasion for us. I'm honored to be here representing the city of Socorro. I want to extend a warm welcome and a heartfelt thank you to Congresswoman Veronica Escobar. Her dedication to our community and her tireless efforts in Congress have brought significant benefits to our city. We are here today to express our profound gratitude for the $250,000 of congressional funding allocated to the Paso del Norte walking trail. This funding is a testament to Congresswoman Escobar's commitment to enhancing the quality of life for the residents of Socorro. The Paso del Norte trail is not just a path. It is a symbol of connection, health, and community. This trail will provide a safe and beautiful space for residents to walk, jog, and enjoy the outdoors. It will also serve as a vital link between different parts of our city, promoting unity and accessibility. The trail will encourage physical activity, contributing to the health and well-being of our citizens. It will also be a space for families to spend quality time together and for individuals to find peace and relaxation. Additionally, the trail will attract visitors to our city, boosting local businesses and contributing to our economy. The development of the walking trail aligns with our commitment to preserving and enhancing our natural environment. It will provide green spaces that support local wildlife and promote biodiversity. The trail will also serve as an educational resource, helping residents learn about the natural beauty and history of our region. On behalf of the City of Socorro, I want to express our deepest gratitude to Congresswoman Escobar for her unwavering support. This funding is a significant step towards realizing our vision for a vibrant and connected community. We are committed to ensuring that the Paso del Norte walking trail is a space that all residents can be proud of and enjoy. I invite everyone to stay engaged and involved as we move forward with this exciting project. Together, we can make Socorro an even better place to live, work, and play. Thank you again, Congresswoman Escobar, for your dedication to our community and making this project possible. We look forward to the positive impact the Paso del Norte walking trail will have on our city for generations to come. Thank you all for being here today and your continued support for our community initiatives. Let's work together to build a brighter future for Socorro. Thank you. I don't know if we're...
You know, actually, good idea. So if each speaker will introduce the speaker that follows. So up next, Mayor Rachel Quintana. And that way I don't have to keep coming.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. It is a pleasure to be here today that the Village of Vinton is part of this. I want to thank Congresswoman Escobar for everything that she has done and advocating for us to be able to fund us for our renovation and expansion of our city hall, which we much need. And this is going to help us so much in our public health and safety sector. We need to expand our code enforcement and our municipal court. For the regulation and enforcement of public health and safety standards. Our community deserves this. They deserve to have a code enforcer and a municipal court that will meet their needs. We also emergency management. Half of our city hall is not usable. So we're having to just work out of one side. And that limits us as to how we can serve our community. Also, our nearest emergency shelter is 3.8 miles from the village of Benton. And you'll have to cross the railroad tracks and the river. If there's flooding and the river is flooding, that'll make it difficult also. So this is at Canutillo Middle School. That's the closest shelter we have. We also, the new building will shelter capabilities for not only Benton, but the Upper Valley community. We need a shelter, and we need it closer. So this will also help us. General government, a displacement, and growing rural community, we are taking a proactive effort, ensuring continuity of government services and to become a beacon of our community. We are growing very, very rapidly. We have 210 homes that will begin being built very soon. So we need to service a lot more residents. And by expanding and renovating our city hall, we will be able to do so. And with that, our staff will be able to serve our community in a better and more efficient way. Thank you again, Congresswoman Escobar. Thank you, everyone. Sorry. Mr. Jacob Cintron.
Thank you all, and I want to thank Congresswoman Escobar because she is always helping us in so many ways. And so in this particular case, she's helping us by providing some funds really needed for really your only community hospital owned by the citizens of El Paso County. We're a level 1 trauma center, level 1 stroke center. We are also a teaching hospital, and we, in partnership with Texas Tech, are able to produce fine physicians, many that stay in El Paso. So we're really proud of that relationship as well. And we are also a safety net hospital, which means that as a public hospital, we are there to help those provide the care they need regardless of their ability to pay. And we're very proud of that. Because of Congresswoman Escobar, we have received millions of dollars in 2022 to get a state-of-the-art Da Vinci single port surgical robot. I was the only one and the first one in town when we first got it. In 2023, she helped El Paso Children's Hospital get a mobile medical unit that helps them provide care in remote areas. And then in 2024, we received about $1.4 million for an emergency generator, which if you're in a hospital and you lose power, is not a good thing. And so we're able to provide necessary and essential power to keep us going regardless of what's happening in the outside environment. And in this case, he's also adding $1.1 million to be able to help us replace some existing stormwater lines that around our campus that when it rains, especially on Alberta Street, which is the street behind us, it floods. And when it floods, you've got 2,000 vehicles having to work through some of the stormwater flooding that exists. We also have a ramp that sort of goes down, so guess what? Water rolls down there as well, so we've got to contend with that. We got hundreds of patients and medical students and physicians and residents at the Texas Tech Clinic that are having to cross over these flooded areas. So with this funding, we're going to be able to fix that so that we can ensure safe passage for those seeking care at our community hospital, whether it be at UMC or at our Texas Tech Clinic partners across the street. We really appreciate everything that Congresswoman Escobar has done. She is a dear friend to El Paso. You know, 15 million doesn't seem like a lot, but it is a lot. And if you look at the map behind us, you see all the different entities that are getting funding. You talk about trying to provide something for everyone, great organizations that need the help. And it's that little bit of help that helps us continue to get over that hump. And she doesn't have to do that, but she does it for us. She's always looking out for us. I look at her with a great deal of respect. She convinced me to come to UMC when she was county judge. And she is a great supporter not only of El Paso, but of all of our organizations that provide great care for our community. So thank you, Congresswoman Escobar. You are our hero, and I think I messed up this. Here it is. You are our hero. So thank you for everything you've done. Now, following me is a person that gave me his brief intro, Dr. Rick Lang from Texas Tech School of Medicine, a great friend and partner, and we're lucky to have him in El Paso.
Thank you. Well, Congressman Escobar, I want to thank you and your staff, always outstanding to work with and for your care. This is a double gift for us because I'm going to talk about what you gave us, but I've had to issue floaties to my residents and students to get to his hospital when it rains. So now no more floaties.
Of course, he's tall enough, he can just walk.
So thank you. It's a pleasure to partner with Jacob, UMC, and El Paso Children's Hospital. When Jacob did an analysis, and UMC did an analysis several years ago, they identified the fact that in our area, many individuals who have cancer don't receive the care that they should, that they need. Prevention services that can prevent cancer, or services when someone has a cancer that can cure that. And so he and I are determined to partner together to bring a comprehensive cancer center to this area so that we can treat the individuals that need it the most. Now, as you're aware, we were fortunate enough to receive legislative funding for the building. I thank Representative and Dr. Mary Gonzalez for that and the other legislators. We've received philanthropic support to help bring some of the individuals that will be experts in this. But what we lack is some of the state-of-the-art care, specifically radiation therapy. Now, radiation therapy has evolved. It's primarily provided what's called a linear accelerator, a LINAC now. Don't worry, we're not going to blow up anything nuclear here, okay? But what it does, it allows you to deliver radiation therapy in such a precise way that it attacks the cancer and preserves the surrounding tissue, which is what you'd like to do. Well, what's happened recently over the last 1 or 2 years is a new type of linear accelerated therapy called ultra-high dose radiation therapy, UHDR. They can deliver 100 to 1,000 times more radiation in less than a second. Wow. That. And this gift that Congresswoman Escobar and her staff are providing to us will allow us to purchase one of those so we can use it in clinical trials on our population that oftentimes have advanced cancers that otherwise can't be addressed. So again, for what you do for us in the community, for my friend Jacob Centrone, and for the people who will benefit from this, from the cancer therapy, we thank you very much. Thank you. I get to hand it over to Dr. Beth Racine.
Hi, everybody. Get my notes straight. Give me a second. Hello, Congresswoman. It's very nice to see you, and thank you so much for your support. All right. Hi, everybody. My name is Beth Racine. I'm the Texas A&M AgriLife Research Center Director here in El Paso. Our site oversees the Rio Grande Colonias Regional Food Business Center. This is a $30 million 5-year cooperative agreement with the USDA. It provides coordination, technical assistance, and capacity building to food businesses that operate all along the food supply chain. And the goal of the Food Business Center is to create a more resilient, strong food supply for border counties, including El Paso. We want to thank Congresswoman Escobar for her support of our community project funding application. We are going to use the funding to begin the planning phase of a full-scale regional food production, distribution, and workforce center here in El Paso. The facility will be used to provide education and resources to food entrepreneurs who are interested in moving their product to the retail environment so that they will learn all of the different regulations, food safety, labeling, storage, distribution, all of the skills that they'll need to be able to take their great creation, their good food production, or their good food idea, and bring it to the world. Thank you very much. Let's see. Our next speaker is Annette Gutierrez.
Ma'am, thank you. And you may come up real quick. I mean, they won't speak because we were told only one person to speak at a time, but both Chief Esparza and Chief Rodriguez, they can join me. My name is Annette Gutierrez. I'm the Executive Director of the Rio Grande Council of Governments, and we are a regional organization. And I am sure that many of you have probably not heard of who we are, what we do, but we are tasked with finding regional solutions to local problems. We have the great benefit of working with cities and counties, school districts, water districts, universities, as well as nonprofits. And this project today, the Interoperable Communications Project that has been selected, is a great showcase to show everyone what can happen when communities come together, band together, and are united under one mission. And so I also want to thank Congresswoman Escobar as well as her staff for considering our application and allowing it to be considered through the program for next year. I would be remiss in not recognizing our Regional Services Director, Marisa Quintanilla. She has been dogged in her pursuit of finding resources for our communities to allow greater improvements with communications. And she has been working on this for a significant amount of years. And so it is because of her work that we're here today. I also want to recognize our chair and our vice chair for the First Responders Planning Group. These two gentlemen, through their leadership, have enabled us to be able to get this application across the finish line and be considered. We have all of our communities that have first responders will be able to have equipment to improve their communications with one another. And we will be the one purchasing that equipment to create a greater economy of scale in terms of the equipment that we purchase. And so this is just if anybody wanted to know what councils of governments are, what they do, this is what we do. We do projects like this, and we never would have been able to complete it if it wasn't for the generosity of Congresswoman Escobar. So thank you so much. Thank you. And I'm so sorry, I neglected to mention Carl Freedy and Frank Mendez from the City of El Paso. Through their technical assistance, we were able to get the application completed. Thank you. Yes, and as far as who's next will be Mary Grace from the Housing Authority of Anthony. Sorry.
Thank you, Mary. It's okay.
Good afternoon. I'm Mary Grace, and I'm the Executive Director for Anthony Housing Authority in Anthony, Texas. Thank you again, Congresswoman Escobar, for all your support and your staff. We sure appreciate it. For thinking of us and remembering us. I have two programs. We have the public housing program. We have 25 residential homes, and we have a Section 8 program. We service Anthony and we service Vinton and up to the Canutillo, El Paso County. And so keep us in mind if you have anybody in that area that has needs. This funding that's going to be provided to us, the $1 million, will help us bring repairs that are much needed. I have a housing stock that's anywhere between 50 and 90 years old. And I am given capital funds every year, about $60,000, and it allocates to about $2,300 per house. So you can see that we have significant needs because I have an aging housing stock and corroded plumbing, roofs. You can imagine that $2,300 just doesn't even help cover the most minor of housing repair needs. So this funding will help us put in some refrigerated air with some solar panels, because as you know, the heat index keeps rising, and we're just not sufficiently prepared to help our tenants who also have medical, challenges with this heat, and our swamp coolers we just can't keep up, as well as, just having a tremendous amount of salt, so it just adds to the corrosion. So thank you so much for remembering us and our tenants, and we sure appreciate it. We know that we can certainly bring more health and safety as we utilize this funding to bring the repairs that are needed in our town. So thank you so much, and I'll introduce Chief Carlos Rodriguez with the town of Anthony as well. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. First and foremost, I'd like to thank Congresswoman Escobar and her staff for allowing us this opportunity. If anybody doesn't know where Anthony is, we're actually the first city coming into New Mexico and the last going out to New Mexico. So for many, many years, Anthony PD has been plagued with behind the eight ball in technology, if you will, and we've been neglected for many years. But here recently in the past years, we've been able to come up with our technologies to better serve our community, our citizens, and of course people of the state of Texas. But to talk about more about our project, I have the project director, which is Lieutenant Gomez.
Good afternoon. My name is Lieutenant Gomez. First of all, thank you, Congresswoman Escobar. Without your help, we would still be forgotten on that side. To talk a little about our project, we're awarded a grant that's going to help us purchase a mobile command post. And it's just not any mobile command post where officers go and gather and respond. This is going to have the latest technology. It's going to have a robot. It's going to have a drone. And especially it's going to have connectivity with every other agency. If any other agency is going to borrow it, they're going to be able to talk to their officers. They're going to be able to talk to my officers, to anybody out there. So without the help of the Congresswoman, we will never have anything like this. So once again, I want to just express my gratitude and thank you to Congresswoman Veronica Escobar. Thank you. Mr. Johnston.
Well, good afternoon. My name is John Schmidt. I'm with the National Center for Defense Manufacturing and Machining, and we operate El Paso Makes, which is accelerating the adoption of advanced manufacturing here in El Paso as well. And man, we could not be more grateful and just proud of this project that we're about to endure with you. This project is really to revolutionize manufacturing for all domain attritable autonomous systems. Now, what this means is towards national security is, it is to build the infrastructure, the systems, the technology to design, develop, and manufacture low-cost attritable drone systems for the Department of Defense. The reason why this is so important is our adversaries have shown us the problems of scale recently in across the world, but specifically in Ukraine and Middle East, as well as other places around the world. We have to address this. Fortunately, by partnering with the incredible academic and industry partners here in El Paso, which we've been doing for several years now, we know that we can take this technology, we can move it forward, and we can really truly deliver something that's going to change the game in the Department of Defense landscape. So we know that we need to build a resilient supply chain. This is part of it. We know that we need to bolster the defense and just the national supply chain in general. This is the talent pool and community within this incredible community of advanced manufacturing partners that we're excited to work with. So this project will drive innovation, and yes, it will drive jobs. Most importantly, we want to continue to position El Paso as a national leader in advanced manufacturing in the defense industrial base and throughout the commercial industrial base as well. So ma'am, thank you so much for your support. I'd like to introduce Ms. Shane Brooks.
Good afternoon, everybody. Shane Brooks at the El Paso International Airport. I'd like to start by thanking Congresswoman Escobar and her team for their support and hard work in ensuring that the airport is included in this extensive list of community projects. Last year, our community celebrated the opening of the Innovation Factory at the airport, and I'm happy to inform you that we're now home to 9 tenants with a wait list for more. The success is generating momentum, and we're going to use the $250,000 in funding that we received today to continue to build out infrastructure and focus on expansion. As my colleague touched on, we're establishing El Paso and the airport as the center for aerospace, defense, and advanced manufacturing to attract high-paying jobs. This initiative aims to retain our local university graduates, offering them careers and a community to be proud of. Again, I'd like to thank Omar Martinez with the city. He keeps us accountable and paying attention to opportunities. And again, Congresswoman Escobar, we're grateful for your investment in the community, and your assistance has been instrumental in securing several grants aimed at improving our facilities and the opportunity to work alongside you and your team as we move forward with these critical infrastructure projects. And then I'd now like to introduce Robert Tinajero with the bridges.
Good afternoon, everyone. Roberto Tinajero. I'm the director of the International Bridges Department with the City of El Paso. As everybody else, I would like to start by thanking Congresswoman Escobar I don't know how she does it, but she not only brings money, she's always on time. We were at the meeting right before this. Obviously, I arrived late. She arrived on time. Again, I don't know how she does it. Anyways, thank you. Thank you for considering this community project. It's very important for the Bridges Department. As you may know, the El Paso region, it's one of the most important regions in terms of trade along the U.S.-Mexico border. El Paso ranks second in personal vehicle crossings, second in pedestrian crossings, and third in commercial vehicle crossings. The amount of trade that crosses through this region, it's more than $120 billion. So a lot of crossings. So again, thank you, Congresswoman Escobar, for this project. This essentially will set the basis for, it's a project development study for the Port of Isleta. And we'll set the basis, like I said, for a potential expansion of the project, of the bridge, I'm sorry. And hopefully this will facilitate trade and obviously the quality of life for the region, since we do have a lot of family ties. It's not only about trade, it's also about family ties. So we understand that, she definitely understands that, and that's why we're very happy to receive this money. So thank you again. Let's see, next on the list is Ms. Rosie Medina.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Congresswoman Escobar, for your generous allocation of funding to our community. It's impressive to see the diversity of projects that have been funded clear across our entire county, and that's just an indicator of your commitment to this wonderful community that we have here in El Paso. My name's Rosie Medina, and I serve as the Chief Juvenile Probation Officer at the Juvenile Probation Department. This funding has been allocated for us to enhance our Challenge Leadership Academy, which is our residential program that houses young men and women for approximately 9 months. This investment in our community is going to allow us the opportunity to serve our youth and provide them opportunities to enhance their educational and vocational skills. We currently partner with the El Paso Independent School District, and we have a welding and an electrical trades program built into our programming. This funding is going to allow us to begin the planning of a 2,500 square foot prefabricated building so that we can move our vocational trades into that building. Currently, the youth are learning and are practicing their hand-on skills in a very small classroom, and for the welding, they are outside, exposed to the elements in a very small, confined area that's not necessarily conducive to their learning and application of skills. In addition, this building is going to afford us an opportunity to reach out and work with the private sector so we can expand those vocational opportunities beyond welding, beyond electrical trades, and working in our community to identify where those needs are. These young people that we work with deserve an opportunity to learn and to enter the workforce with skills. They are vulnerable, they're at risk, and what we are committed to do is ensuring that our youth are successful, that they're earning their wages and they're contributing to our tax base in our community. So this investment is truly, truly valuable to us and valuable to our community. Within our facility, it's going to afford us the opportunity to update and provide modern equipment and enhance vocational training. And just to make note also that to date, we have had 32 children certified in welding. They've entered the workforce. Many of them have gone to work in the oil fields, making in excess of $30, $35 an hour at the age of 18, at the age of 17. So we just want to expand the reach that we have with justice-involved youth. In closing, I want to express our gratitude again to Congresswoman Escobar, along with her team, Deputy Chief Garcia, who has been instrumental in putting this grant together, the Transforming Juvenile Justice Through Education, to the El Paso Commissioner's Court, County Administration, Judge Yaralisa Gutierrez, and our Juvenile Board for the support and the vision of our organization in creating a better future for the youth of El Paso County. Thank you. And next is Crystal Reyes.
Always trying to hide in the back, I'm sorry. Well, good afternoon, everybody. Crystal Reyes, I'm the interim director for the El Paso County Animal Welfare Department. First and foremost, thank you, Congresswoman Escobar, for your attention to this much-needed project. Just a quick story. Many of you may or may not know, but during her tenure as the El Paso County judge, she played a pivotal role alongside Sheriff Wiles in establishing the animal welfare initiatives for the community, so thank you for that. This project will be for the East Montana Animal Shelter. This is a much needed establishment for the county. We do work 1,100,000 miles, the pet population. It's just too much for the one shelter in the city to service. Our current serviceable area is 30 miles away from that shelter, so this shelter represents a long-awaited necessity for the county. The years of planning and the current progress towards the realization fills me with great optimism for the future of our community.